Tessa, and I'm a mentor in training at the BGCL Youth Center. And
I'm Tessa. I'm also a mentor in training at the BGCL Center.
this is Patrick David. He is a rope access technician.
So, what do you do for a living?
So technically I'm retired from full-time military, but now working part-time as a rope access technician.
Okay. How did you really originally get into this career, or how did you get into this?
It actually started before I left the military. So it would have been 2012 was when I first got interested in this. And while I was in the military, I was involved with sort of access and rescue type stuff related to rope work and working at heights. So I guess that's where that sort of thing sparked my interest. And I'm sure as a child, I saw people dangling off buildings. And of course, Spider-Man was always my hero. So it seemed like a natural progression for me. Yeah.
Nice. So what does the day-to-day look like for this career?
I would say to some extent, there's no such thing as a regular day-to-day because it's always different. But essentially, for the most part, it could be things like building maintenance. It could be working on the sides of cliffs. It could be doing bridge inspections. Sometimes it's indoors, sometimes it's outdoors. This winter, one of the indoor examples that I did was we're in the main foyer of a shopping mall at night. So we go in there after hours. Christmas for them because they're seated, I don't know, probably 60 feet off the floor by cables and different systems. So we used rope access to get up and establish an anchor and raise the decorations into place. Yeah, what else can I say about day to day? Yeah, so sometimes, well, that's another thing. Sometimes we're working at daytime, sometimes we work at nighttime. So I guess there's a night to night as well.
That's awesome. What type of training or schooling did you need to do this?
There's two main organizations in North America. One's called SPRAT, SPRAT, and the other one's called IRATA, IRATA, and they're both professional rope access organizations. And to start, there's 3 levels essentially. So level 1, you don't really need any previous experience. You basically just show up and do a 4 to 5 day course, which is a combination of lots of practical skills and a written test and a verbal test where you just have to answer a bunch of questions and explain things, and a practical exam where you have to basically perform all the rope maneuvers and rescues to a independent evaluator. And it's kind of a 3 strikes you're out type thing. So if there's major mistakes, that would be an instant, you're out of here, and see you next year or see you next time. And then there's little things that are called discrepancies, where if you accumulate 3 discrepancies, then you're done.
Okay.
So to become a level 1 mission, you can expect to make, I'd say, somewhere in the vicinity of maybe $25 an hour. And depending on which organization you've certified under, you may need anywhere from 6 months to a year and 500 to 1,000 hours of experience signed off in the logbook by a supervisor in order to progress to the next level. And like I said, there's 3 levels, and the level 3 is basically a supervisor level where you can essentially run a job site and supervise other technicians.
Nice.
Cool. So how does someone get a job in this field?
Well, first would be to source local training centers that you can do that course with, or I mean, in some cases, companies. One of the organizations I work for, we've been contracted to come and teach a course for a company and a group of their guys. So that's an ideal situation where you already work for a company and they pay for your training. But worst case scenario, you would source a training center yourself and pay to take their course and get certified. And then, then you just have to really, I guess, throw out some resumes to different rope access companies and hope someone gives you a chance.
Cool. Great. What are some challenges that you've faced while you've been a rope access technician?
Probably, I'd say the 2 biggest challenges off the top of my head. One would be the safety side of things, because it's obviously you're dangling off the side of multi-story buildings and underneath bridges and things like that. So, so it's mental and physical. And one of the challenges, I'm a level 3 now, so I work as a supervisor. And one of the big challenges is making sure everything is to the, in my case, WorkSafe BC standards, and that the guys I'm supervising are being safe and using the proper equipment and all that kind of stuff. So that's one side of it. And then the other side, I guess, would probably be just environmental. So you do spend long days outside in all weather pretty much. So sometimes there's a bit of, suck it up, princess element to it.
Nice. Do you have any advice or tips for youth interested in this career?
Yeah, I'd say do your research and check all, lots of different training companies and make sure see what kind of, make sure they're reputable, been around for a while. Don't be afraid to go in there and ask questions. You do have to be minimum of 18 years old to be certified as a rope tech. And once you start the career especially as a new young person, or even an older person, but new to the career, take your time, be safe. Remember, at the end of the day, it's just a job, and it should be reasonable that you come home safe every day. So don't take any stupid risks.
Okay, what would you tell someone new to this career?
Say again, sorry?
What would you tell someone new to this career?
I guess definitely some of the previous question as far as, take your time, be safe, stay focused. It's very easy to get distracted and maybe not stuff up correctly or not inspect things, that kind of stuff. It brings you to all kinds of crazy places, like and just interesting jobs and aspects that no one else ever sees, like maybe standing on top of a wind turbine in the middle of the desert, or being in the mountains of China, or in the subway systems under a major city in Belgium. You know, that's the kind of some of the examples of places where I've worked as a rope access technician. So yeah, it's physical and mentally demanding, but it's can be a pretty cool job. If you're afraid of heights, it's not for you.
Okay, that's great. If somebody were to be interested in this, where could they find like the supplies they would need?
And
Sorry?
The supplies and information for what they'll need.
I would say a good start would be to Google Sprat, SPRAT, so sprat.org, just to, and that will give a bunch of, there's a bunch of information there on what does a rope access technician do, what's it like to be a rope access technician. It'll give links to training providers, and there's all kinds of detailed documents on what to expect on a course, what to expect on an evaluation. So yeah, Sprat or the IRATA, IRATA. I'd say that's a really good start anyways.
cool. So that's all the questions for today. Thank you for doing the interview for us.
Yes.
My pleasure. You guys look really familiar.
Yeah, I know. I don't know where we've seen you before, but yeah. If any of the other youth in this program has any questions, we'll get them to ask them so we can get them through to you.
And
Okay.
there are more videos posted throughout the week for the youth.
Awesome.
So
Great.
thank you.
Thank you.